final jump, it's a tag. The Storm and Aqua, I can't believe it, finishes it off by himself the whole time on height alone, dictating the whole server. This man is the best player of Europe.
Built already.
And I feel like this entire high community might already be caught off guard. This zone actually falling off this mountain. We know how deceptive height can be in that situation. You don't have the same advantages. You don't get to have the same time to beam. You spend more time waterfalling. Right now, Bella EU, the waterfalls roll down his cheeks as he cries in zone. Styler, Maestro. 6 eliminations already. Might find their 7th here. There's a launch pad. Can he get the beam right before it? He does. Perfect timing by Styler. And now him and Maestro control their side of the map. They get a launch pad off late. Perfect timing. Good game plan. Where will they land, though, as height has to fall?
And it's Queasy and drlupo who are on height right now. A lot of teams definitely lurking in the background of this 6 zone, as it still is fairly wide. It gives them the opportunity. They do have a minigun. And I hear another one as well that's pressuring at the same time. They're going to force the Nasanai Buhai down. Good layer control, but look how high they are. And as the RPGs start to rain out, I wonder if it's a little dangerous to stay up this high. The next zone will determine a lot, though.
And right now, even though Queasy and drlupo do have height, that minigun ammo is running up short, so they have to choose exactly where they want to pressure. Ultimately, though, they will get that launch pad down. Height moves even further off to the beach. We're now tuned with Wise. We saw Raid before it gets sprayed off by Wolfies. He's going to be playing solo, still surviving to this point, running out of mats, though, and now needs to fall all the way down on other people's builds.
And he does find himself in a no-mat situation, looking for opportunities to find any eliminations. He drops in the back where Stormy Right is there, and he takes him out in the good old shotgun fight, tack against tack, and wins that. And still no materials, though. He's going to go back on the back of Maestro, who falls, but not before he falls himself. Queasy and drlupo are still maintaining this height and could be our winners after everything. Primzy down on low with 5 eliminations. He's got a flopper. Squeezy goes in, and he takes him out. Primzy now against Rezon. And it's not going to be enough, even though he gets a nice big tack. He's too low HP, and the Storm is going to overwhelm him. Floppers now for Rezon.
The leaderboards look so close. Every duo we're tuning in with above 6, above 7 eliminations. Can that top 20 be that heavy right now? Mexi and Varrox still surviving on low ground, had a position of opposite height, so being here, having that bounce back, so impressive. drlupo on height as well, controlling it multiple times. Oh my god, they're getting pressured. It's almost there.
And we saw their big base in 5th zone. This is a setup that you definitely want to see. Mexi and Varrox played so well in so many places, but this could be a 2 versus 2 with Queasy and drlupo on height against Mexi and Varrox. If they can wipe down this low ground now, is the question. Still a lot of different teams up, I believe now. 2v2, v2, v1. If I'm doing the math right, yes it is. Mexi and Varrox, one of those teams.
All the eggs in Queasy and drlupo's basket, because no matter where this zone goes, height is always going to be at an advantage, and the game could straight up just end if it goes back right up to that mountain or above a hill that Varrox and Mexi can't climb with. It's a big box fight, though, all the way at the end. Mexi goes down. It's all up to Varrox to survive. He gets the trade onto Artor, still surviving RPGs as Raxo goes down. The minigun pressure finally here at the very end. Recon is up, last surviving in this box. Can he get that big Elam? He does to secure it out, but drlupo and Queasy hold up on height. 7 eliminations, 17 total points, and game 1 winners, controlling the entire game
in this
the entire
because of the
time.
mountain in their way as they mountain goat on the side. They still find more. Wakey and Snappy, though, on high ground with the boom boat, and we've seen this story before. No Stompy and Aqua to take this from them. Is this starting to look like a win for Wakey and Snappy? I see Varrox and Mexi right underneath them, also a threat.
Here is going to be catastrophic from Wakey and Snappy up top. And more people are launching. Will they see beams over here? Wakey will try and not actually connect. So many people already just flown past so fast. Mexi and Varrox get out of there as well. And finally, Wakey and Snappy put down enough pressure to get a launch pad. Just Wakey, though. Snappy's all the way up front, building out for his dual partner. He catches up quick, and then he looks back for any shots, but the server's already moved on.
But you can see exactly what he was doing. He was making sure there was nobody trying to pressure, nobody trying to take sneaky flopper plays on heights. And I think he accomplished his mission. ibuhai and Anas with 4 eliminations so far in this game. They made it towards the end game as last, but I don't believe they got too many placements. I think it was mostly eliminations for them. A lot of different teams still threats in this. Cammy and Kubex, definitely a consistent team. Nathan and Alex. Raxo, and here's Kiriachi. Also a threat. He is on to Verox, and I'm not sure if Mexi is still alive in this one. Yes, he is, but low HP. Kiriachi has a little bit to play with. There's Raxo taking out Mitro and CRR, I believe. Yes, both of them down.
And now he is the low ground warrior in control, taking out one of the most aggressive and just star-studded duos when they get to this position. There is a bridge coming up, though, so if he gets trapped underneath it, that could be a big problem, playing towards that river with a low mat count as well. If it's the wrong-sided current, that could prove disastrous. He falls lower and lower as there's no one else left on that position, on that layer. We tune back in with Snappy and Wakey up top with an RPG. So many rockets left. A heavy sniper there for the combo as well. And they're not finding any success in too many eliminations. Just 1 point so far. Are they falling behind the rest of the server?
And now as we get closest to 8th zone, 15-player threshold, team threshold for placement points that starts raining true come in. Verox connects with one, so he's still alive, even though they were so low. Mr. Savage loses his teammate, iDrop, but up by himself, one of the solos that can definitely perform time and time again. And he is going to have an RPG to work with as well, but no builds, no mats, no materials. Nate is right in front of him, and Alex as well. He does connect twice on a good form for Andalex. Another team coming in, it's Koji, and he gets him, but not before falling to Rezon. Oh my goodness, it's carnage down on low.
This is what happens when a height gets the advantage on the rest of the server, and then the entire zone pulls straight up off a cliff, off a mountain. People get struggles, people get stuck, and Anas now has the best POV with a big tack and is landing shots time and time again, trapping people in zone. That could be huge and prove big dividends, but the zone just bounces back, gives them a little bit of a chance to breathe and survive. People are left. It's a 2v2, I think, finally. No, he's
solos.
a solo. He's going to try to clutch. It's all a solo game.
Anas, Kubex, Raxo, same team, and I believe Wakey, the last player up on heights. We get to see this zone as it bounces down for Raxo. He has a little bit more to work with. And there we catch up in the Elim feed. Don't look at those. It's still a 1 versus 1 versus 1. And so many teams on the low ground. Raxo almost gets in an awkward layer. This is going to go the distance.
This is going to take a long time indeed. We have 1 minute before that zone finally closes in. No one getting shots off. Everyone has those replenished mats, as we saw a big fight break down before in the 8th zone. Raxo trying to survive with the skin of his teeth, just 22 HP, 20 actually, has so many shields. But at this point in the game, do you have the time to pop them off, changing layers to stay hidden? Does he have the opportunity here? Finally, 2 people go down. Anas now left over, eradicating the people up top on height. No, actually, down low. It's going to be the height time. That's looking downwards onto Anas. Possibly has time to pop the big. Not going to be close enough. Has a lot of materials. Might go for the high ground play. Here it is. The retake coming in. Double 90s. Gets Harry Potter stuck underneath him. It's Wakey on top. Gets the cone off, but Wakey dodges it. Moving over to the right. The pumps trade. He gets the lesser half of it, though. Wakey still has a flopper. Pops it. Anas. 2 seconds left in the zone. Flubs the build, and Wakey has the bloom bow. Does not need to use it. Good positioning. Nice break off with the pressure on the builds. Wins out on game 2.
And that last moment trade that occurred for Wakey to get the pump on foot, they go. Here it is. He builds in, and now they are. He reconnects as well, and they've got it. And the highest position for sure in zone. He's going to go down and out, possibly drop one. He almost drops. Save it. He does, and he gets the Elim. Knocked him all the way down. Loses the footing, and save it down and out. He's going to drop down, get the refresh too. And that might solve his material issues. How much does he get? Back up to 100, so he's looking good.
Looking good, but it's a dire circumstance. Has to move with the zone that's going so fast. Trying to launch, but it's blocked all the way around. Finally gets it up, but still taking so much zone damage. Nate, are you in or are you out? Currently, it's looking like he just survives with 10 HP, 2 Elims in the clutch spot. His mats are looking good, but he has no white heals to support himself. He has to find a finish.
Queasy and drlupo just took out Stompy and Aqua, who must have been on height, and Queasy and drlupo continue their reign and maybe also get revenge for the game 3 that we did not see. I'm curious now who's on height, but Nate making the best out of a poor situation, not having his teammates. He's using all his materials here to get towards 7th. There's another pickoff. He's not going to be able to drop down for the mats, but still making it work almost close to that point threshold. Also looking back, it's Kingrichard and lolitofdez who trade against Versa, and he's following lolitofdez so low. Almost another pick for Nate.
He has about 300, 200 mats to work with here, and he's playing really well, looking for every single angle. RPG coming his way is going to put a ruin to his day. In the same box, goes for the flick shot, misses, but the follow-up with the burst AR is there. He has 2 shotguns in tow. He can choose to use either one if he wants. Has shields too, but has to move out with the zone. Gets a slight refresh. It's not enough. Has that 50 pop. Will pop it before he starts to move over. 5 seconds left. Does he see the bounce back is the question. Kingrichard and lolitofdez were alive as well. drlupo getting more eliminations off the Verox from height. Squeezy is alive too. Can Norward climb back. Savage goes down in the elim feed. Now getting shot from the back is Nate. Still clutches over though. The pump. Raxo goes down. He doesn't find the finish. But Artor now is speed bump in the way. Mexi, we saw Verox go down in the feed. Has to play by himself.
He's playing by himself, but he's making it work. There's another one, too, and more placements about to get in. He has to go and hold this as the siphon. No, it's not. This is Nate, remember, he went down. This is Artor, the player that took out. Actually, Raxo took him out before falling himself. Artor now Queasy down. Means drlupo left alone. This might go 5 ways. 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1. There's another solo battle. Artor down on low ground. Thomas in this as well, but only 14 points. He's got the grappler, though.
And Dako's not going to be here to help grimmmz. He doesn't have to play this by himself. Thomas does have the best loadout possible in a solo environment. grimmmz going down to Artor, who tries to control low, but is in an awkward angle. So many people are still left up top. Just 1 flopper in Thomas's inventory, and he gets popped now to have a little bit over delay. iDrop is there on 2nd height from low ground. We'll see if there's a possibility for him to hold his position. Now the grappler comes in on the drlupo, the big shot, the double time. There's 2 big hits, and now Storm is nothing that drlupo can use.
Gosh.
Thomas is the new king, and in game 4, he might look to wrap things up in fast fashion. It's him versus iDrop now. He has the RPG and gets that first hit. Dropping down, will he find the finish here? The jump, the delay, the trick shot from high ground, and Thomas finds a way all the way up the leaderboards and the game to secure game 4.
And he did exactly what looks like the first time. Queasy and drlupo, though, possibly, yes, they're going to land on Astro and Hardfind, who are capped, which is why you see so many times it's the Aqua and Stompy strategy of landing on a team who's capped off, and you can build up above them. Mr. Savage, though, fighting for it. And for good reason. Both of these teams need to maintain, and both of these teams need to have good performances in this one. And against Wolfies and Letchi, the biggest threat on the other side, this might be difficult. Look how much investment you have to make to do this.
And all the way on low, we see Savage, Scully, Kingrichard, lolitofdez as well.
So there might not be as many as we would expect, and if they do a late pad, it's going to be a quick one. Queasy and drlupo might not have had the opportunity to grab that. I'm looking, yes, they did. They're bouncing off of low ground, actually. And drlupo is knocked out of the sky for most likely Wolfies and Letchi. Aqua's still up in this one, still trying to clutch 2 and pressuring against Mr. Savage. He's still looking for height by himself, my man. Does not stop. He's trying to spot where are Wolfies and Letchi. They've given it up.
Is he up?
This is it.
He's on height.
He has it, but for how long is the big question.
He has a launch in case things go bad, only 17 builds, but height's been built out for him. Finally uses that launch pad to get all the way ahead, but once again, can't upkeep with just 100 mats, is looking to pressure the lobby like he always does, teammate or not. Aqua is on height with Brutus's minigun, looking for any opportunity left, right, and center. Ice still at 0 points, looking for a way to survive. 22 duels left. So we're way away from placement. Right now, it's all about survival, all about picks. And somehow, Aqua is still reigning over the whole server, getting another airdrop halfway through. And that'll give him a few more materials to outlast things, another launch pad, as well as possibly an RPG.
Is he actually going to grab it? He shot it down. He picks up 1. He also pressures Waku's on a tear in this one. And he's going to drop down. He's going to get the impact. KZ Pet couldn't drop him down, but he doesn't. And that's a lot more materials to bring this through and to carry this home. Aqua so close now to the placement thresholds by himself. And look at this. Nobody even thinking about challenging the minigun of Aqua. It feels like the rest of the lobby thinks that Stompy is still up in this game because nobody wants any part of pushing up at Aqua.
The only thing that can stop him now is a duo with one flopper player. We've already seen Queasy extend a bunch of his floppers coming in from the side. Aqua finds him, gets a few tags off, but it's not enough to actually break him down. Now, people flying over. It's Clement, Kaizen looking for their own spot. They are solos. I think they finally see that up top is just one person with a minigun. At the same time, his duo could be anywhere. We know, though, that he doesn't exist. It's just Aqua with 4 mats controlling the server still, past 3 different zones, having height the entire time. How is this even possible?
I don't even know. He's also breaking any launch pads, any possibilities of anybody pushing up and realizing that this is actually only a solo in this game. You remember it was Wolfies and Lechy who took him out earlier through that. We're now in a fight against Kingrichard. I think it might be just Lechy by himself. Kingrichard looking and doesn't spot too high. Kaizik and Clement are in this game, or sorry, Clement and Kaizen in this game. There's the minigun. Again, doesn't even look. Just goes straight down. Does not want anything to do with Stompy and Aqua possibly on the high ground. But again, just Aqua clutching up. Now gets the 10th placement threshold.
It's just PTSD for everyone in the lobby. They know when they get beamed, it's hopeless. There's always a second person there to follow up. This time, though, that solo pressure will mimic it, forcing everyone down. Now Kingrichard on low ground. 2 eliminations. It's the top 5, and Aqua's made it. Still with another huge refresh. 300 mats by himself. The World Cup winner and carry for the duo so far in Game 5 of Europe. 3 elims, looks for more, gets a few more pickaxes down. It's Kingrichard on low. It's a 1v1. Can Aqua win it? Is it just him by himself? Can this man be the menace for the region? Kingrichard tries to survive pulling up. The minigun's just a bit too much. He drops down for a pump tack shotgun. It's not there. Another one for the jump. It's there. The 34 damage tag. It's hopeless for Kingrichard. There's a big trade, though. Can Aqua find it once again? They're so low. The mini. Is it possible? He's in zone. The final jump. It's a tag. The storm. And Aqua, I can't believe it, finishes it off by himself the whole time on height alone, dictating the whole server. This man is the best player of Europe. Up there,
A
but
clutch
it's a
for the
bait
century.
from Stompy and Aqua, who know exactly the trajectory that people will launch themselves off with. Alex staying up top for just a hot second. That's all he has left until the zone starts to move. Gets ice with a big 1 pump. And they won't be able to find the finish off of it completely. They might be able to, as you see a little bit. Nope, he's going to leave him behind. Move all the way forward, low ground style. And him and Nate have a boost up to 48 points, currently in the lead.
By the way, just have to point it out, it was Ice who was contesting him at the beginning of the tournament.
Eventually, of exactly who's alive here, who's where. We switch back over to Nate and Andalex. Have to remember, Rasco and Artur are still here as well, playing their win condition, just being silent. Looking for a chance to get some low ground elims later on and move up, because one duo is basically out. xaryulokk could try to take some placement away from other duos, but now it's Aqua and Stompy on height. Nate is there looking for a shot in. These relationships are still ongoing. Somehow from low all the way up top, they find a backup plan. And stuck in storm, Nate is going to pop up a slurpfish. These guys are on the brink, and it might look like their game's almost over.
What?
They have so many mats for being slightly a bit too economic, taking so much damage. They're low now, finally find a launch, but they're so weak in the air. Luckily, don't get shot. They move over. Have 1,000 mats on Nate, probably the same on Andalex. Finally online, but they're going to have to find a lot of siphons to finish out this game.
Yeah, and they land on Verox and Mexi, who we know don't necessarily have too much in the ways of floppers or anything like that, but Stompy and Aqua are starting their rise to the top if they can do that. They've already gotten 3 eliminations that I've seen in the feed. They need so many more, and they also need to stop Nate and Andalex right here, right now, and the minigun pressure does go in. Kubex finds xaryulokk, so that's the end of that rise, and it is done. Braxo and Artar is still down on low ground by themselves, and a full duo in the making. A full duo could rise up. Kubex, by the way, and Cam here at 37 points too. Andalex down to Raxo. The third place team takes out the first.
They're still moving up. Kubex is trying his hardest as well. So low, Cammy going down. Kubex on the last brink, the final HP slot of his inventory. Buhai going down. That's 10th place to Nate. He's still trying to survive as Andalex goes away. And suddenly, everything looks possible. Nate, though, in a clutch situation. Tfue is also moving up the boards. Ray is trying to find a way of his own to come through. Nowhere finally taken out. Legendary getting some picks as well. Here's Nate looking for shots, doesn't find them. Verox alive on low ground. On height, you can hear the minigun ringing. It's time for everyone to go down and possibly try to survive. Clement and Kaizen are here too.
But Nate's gonna hold on. If he doesn't fall out of placement, he's basically negating everybody else's placement points at the top of the leaderboard. And RPG is gonna land on Raxo. I don't know if it did. Raxo and Artur, they clean up. Kubek's in zone, 43 points now for them. He has the grappler as well, but the minigun's still spraying out. Verox at the same time, chiming in as Hillel, because he has a couple of eliminations for himself. Kubek's finally goes down, but Raxo's still alive. And there it is, the end of that one, 47 points.
And Verox is here, Kaizen finding things, Dako's still alive trying to find a way in. It's absolute pandemonium in Game 6 with every possible duo in the top 15 finding points, finding placement, and a way to live. Although now it's a final 2v2 with, I think, Buhai and Anas trying to find their way up against Stompy and Aqua at 40 points. If they get both these picks and the finish, that's 45, although not first, can move so high up in the placement thresholds. And I think Buhai and Anas are also up here in points. So whoever wins this gets the higher placement. It's stakes on the line, and the Kings of Hyde are here trying to hold things down. Anas is trying to flopper play in the storm. It is not possible. Can these messiahs fulfill the prophecy of a back-to-back win in games 5 and 6? Here we go. Stompy on height. Aqua, with the big support of the minigun, are surviving. I think finally in the storm, Buhai goes down. So it's all up to Anas, and it's a 2v1 that drops down. The classic story is fulfilled in game 6. Aqua Stompy living the whole way through, find a way all the way to the top spot and win it out.
Not have asked for a better final game, and we are ready to reveal the standings for EU Grand Finals. Let's reveal them, and let's show who won this game. You called it. Here it is, the winners of the European region. Let's go from bottom to top and reveal. No, we're just gonna go everybody at the same time. It is Alex and Nate, and they hold on 53 points at the end of it with the win and all the eliminations that they did, and the clutch 15th and possibly 10th place from Nate and Alex have done it again.